Thank you. Good to see everybody. Thank you very much. It's great to be back in Yavapai County. You know, this is my second day in a row in Yavapai County. So a lot of people were saying, thanks for coming up. I want you to know I love coming up here. It gives me great positive energy. The people up here, I want to say, Mark, thank you very much for the kind introduction. I was here yesterday with Tom Thurman and Jack Smith, and we were doing some training with the firefighters for what could be a very difficult fire season. So we want to hope for the best, but prepare for the worst. So I want to say thanks for having me here. I'm looking forward to celebrating with you tonight our Lincoln Day dinner, when we talk about the enduring values from Abraham Lincoln to Ronald Reagan. And this really is a night to celebrate and reflect about what's best in our party, about the vision we have for the future, not only of this state, but of the country, and the accomplishments that we can enjoy tonight. But in the spirit of bipartisanship, I think we should also pause for a moment and remember our friends in the Democrat Party and the mainstream media. They also have a vision for the future. And to be honest, you have to admit, they have an uncanny ability to predict the future with startling accuracy. After all, so much of what they've predicted has come true. Unemployment is up. Tax reform has caused our economy to crash. Donald Trump has been impeached. Hillary Clinton is at record popularity. And James Comey's new book tour has proven to be anything but political. In all seriousness, because of the hard work and dedication of the people in this room, in this county, and in rooms like this across our country, we have so much to be proud of on a national level. We can celebrate tonight historic tax reform and the repeal of the individual mandate of Obamacare. 16 rules and regulations cut for every new one created. President Trump had the most appeals court judges confirmed during the first year of any presidency. And National Guard troops have been deployed to secure our border. You know, a number of you sent me a nice note last week. I had a very special birthday, and my wife, I would like to say she surprised me. My wife Angela and I, we've been married 27 years, and I'd like to say she surprised me, but she actually shocked me. Because I came home, there was something on the calendar that said I needed to be home for this errand, and she handed me a folder and said, I'm taking you away for the weekend for your birthday. And I said, this weekend? I mean, you know what I've got to do? And she said, no, I've worked with your team and you're leaving. And I said, okay. So she took me to, I think, where she really wanted to go, but I had a great time. We went to New York City.
Oh, yeah.
And she had planned for us to see a couple shows. And on Saturday night, we were driving to one of the shows, and the phone rings, and it's unknown.
Uh-oh.
And in this job, I know what that means. We're going to be late to the show. So I answered the phone, said hello, and he said, hello, it's President Trump. Can you take the call? And so I always like to, I still am trying to impress my wife after 27 years. So I put on speaker for a few minutes and said, President, I'm here with Angela. So he said hello, but he said, thank you to you and the citizens of Arizona for being so supportive on border security. Now that show that my wife was taking me to was Bruce Springsteen on Broadway. And we got there right as the show was about to start. And we didn't know anybody in the row where we were sitting. We sat down and people said, "You're late." And I said, "You'll never guess who I was talking to." We left it right there. But listen, we're not going to stop this reform at the national level or at the international level. In fact, our very own state treasurer, Jeff DeWitt, has left for a job at NASA on a mission to make the whole galaxy great again. And of course, we have a lot to celebrate here in the great state of Arizona as well. Our border strike force has seized more than 13.2 hits of heroin and made 3,200 arrests in our border counties. Wages are up $1,000 here in Yavapai County, and the last time unemployment was this low, you were renting your movies at Blockbuster. Even the New York Times had something nice to say about Arizona and our economic growth and innovation, calling our success a tech boom. Now, we all know that these successes and victories didn't happen by accident. They are the result of our law enforcement individuals, hardworking business owners, and innovators putting in the long hours and making it happen each day. It also is because of the people that are here in this room tonight. I want to express my appreciation for each and every one of you and the hard work that you've done to make our party stronger and more formidable than ever before. And I want to thank your leadership here. He was up here thanking all of us, but Mark Sensmeyer, Sandra Laney, Yoli Bounds, they are the people that made tonight possible. Thank you for hosting us. I think at the state level, Arizona is a model for what happens when government has some common sense and stays out of people's way. And if you like what we're doing at the governor level, I want to say I couldn't do it without the legislature that I am blessed with. And I think Senator Karen Fann is here, David Stringer, and Noel Campbell. Thank you. You know, Mark Twain likes to say that no man's life, liberty, or property are safe while the legislature's in session. But Mark Twain didn't live in Arizona, where this legislature doesn't limit your freedom, they expand it, and I'm grateful for the partnership. But none of us as elected officials could do what we do without your continued support. And I want you to know that I know that every day, that I'm up here because of the hard work, the door knocking, the phone calling, the signature gathering, and so is every other elected official. So I want to commend you for the outstanding work that's happening in Yavapai County and the way that it is an exemplar for our conservative Republican values. And now it's time for us to think about our next election year. It's a tall order in this political environment, but you've been fighting hard to get us where we are, so I think it's important that we take a preview as to what it's going to look like. And I've got a lot of optimism for what's possible here in 2018. You know, Washington, D.C. is having trouble keeping the lights on, but in Arizona, we've demonstrated we can get things done. When Washington shut down, we kept the Grand Canyon open. In this state, in 2015, we went from a $1 billion deficit to a plan this year to increase teacher pay by 20% in 2020. And when it comes to this terrible scourge on our nation, this opioid crisis, we have taken immediate and aggressive action, and we signed a comprehensive, bipartisan legislative package, the most consequential in recent memory. We're hitting this epidemic head on. We did it with unanimous support and leadership from our legislature, and I'm determined that we can save more lives. But this right now is a time for Republicans to have a call to action. with the Democrats as energized, as angry, and yes, even as organized as they are, we can't take anything for granted in this election cycle. It's no secret that the left is eyeing Arizona for a Senate seat, just dreaming for the opportunity to steal it. Well, I've got some news for the Democrats. They can keep on dreaming. This is Arizona, and with your help, and only with your help, we can make sure that our next U.S. Senator goes to Washington, D.C. to drain the swamp and not drink its Kool-Aid. Now, this year's Senate race isn't the only reason that the nation has its eyes on the state of Arizona. We just topped 7 million residents for the first time, and people continue to move here. So remember, in the 18 cycle, this is the redistricting cycle. The party that stays in charge draws the line, and will likely draw lines for an additional congressional seat in our state. That's a blessing, but there's work to be done. Businesses are moving here and relocating here and starting up because they know what so many of us know: life is better in the state of Arizona. Here, Here in Arizona, we still believe in the First Amendment and the Second. And we're funding our priorities responsibly, including K-12 education with a record investment, and we're doing all of it without raising taxes. Now here's something we should all be immensely proud of. Arizona was recently rated not top 5, not top 3, but the #1 most pro-life state in the entire nation. So before we enjoy our bounty here at the table, it's important that we understand what's at stake. We have dominated here in the state of Arizona. We have 5 out of 5 statewide elected officials. We have a majority in our House and a majority in our Senate. We have a majority in our congressional delegation, and we have 2 Republican United States senators. In this country, we have the House, we have the Senate, we have the presidency who makes the selections on the next Supreme Court justices. We can celebrate tonight, but what we've accomplished is not about a celebration. It's about an assignment for the future. And that is the call to action when we leave here tonight, to make sure that we protect and defend the state of Arizona. We didn't come this far and work this hard to squander what we have today. We're in the business of expanding freedom, and it's Arizona that leads the way. You're going to see more advertising, you're going to see more political TV this year than you have ever seen. Tom Steyer, George Soros, the organized left believe that they can pick up that United States Senate seat. And they're not foolhardy to try. Our #1 net in migration of these people that are moving here are Californians. Our fastest growing demographic is Hispanic. Now, I believe we can win all these votes, but we need to get in these rooms. We need to let our California friends who are finally home remember that they left California for a reason. And that's where these rooms rise up and communicate with the voters and let them know what's at stake. Arizona and this country is truly a land of opportunity for all, and I believe that Arizona is the last great state in the nation. This is the home of Barry Goldwater, and he has defined what conservatism is for decades, and he comes from Arizona. So with your help, the party of Lincoln and the party of Reagan will continue to build on this legacy of principled conservative values and unwavering thankfulness for every freedom God has granted us. Thank you and God bless.
Thank you, Governor Ducey. First, we have a special gift for you for taking the time to come up and join us. Thank you very much.
Are you trying to tell me I should have wore a tie?
And Governor Ducey is going to stick with us for a very special presentation at this time. When one thinks of a lifetime of achievement as a Republican, one person that comes immediately to mind is the late Arizona Congressman Bob Stump. How many of you were here and remember Congressman Bob Stump? Another person that comes to mind is in this room tonight. The inaugural Bob Stump Lifetime Achievement Award goes to a loyal, dedicated Republican who has supported the Republican Party in Yavapai County, Arizona, and the nation with his time, his effort, and his treasure. A Navy fighter pilot and business owner, he has served as a longtime precinct committeeman, Yavapai County Republican chairman, state committeeman, first vice chair of the Arizona GOP, and campaign manager and supporter for numerous candidates. I am proud and honored to award and to have Governor Ducey join us in this presentation, the first Bob Stump Lifetime Achievement Award to my good friend and yours, Malcolm Barrett.
Oh, look at that picture, Pete.
Well, let me say, first of all, I'm very surprised and extremely honored and humbled to receive this award from the people on the ground that I've been working with for the past 30 years. I think your local recognition is the highest honor you can get anywhere. I can't add much to what Chairman Sensenmeyer said about our behavior and conduct in this coming election, but there's one thing I want to add, and I've said this before. Running for office takes a lot of courage. Candidates go through a lot of hard work, a lot of grief, and it's a very time-consuming thing. You all have the candidates you're going to support, and that's fine. And I'll tell you this, you must respect all candidates because they deserve it.
Right.
I want to thank you again for this, and I'll continue my passion for the principles of the Republican Party. Thank you.
And thanks to Mel Jr. for posting these pictures.
Yeah.
I think we're awesome. All right, we're going to take a break here while you guys eat your dinner so you can eat and chat without having to divide your attention. We'll join back.